She's a first timer, I think. Hello, Becky.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Welcome.
Thanks.
I was so excited about this today because seeing the Aurora Borealis is on my bucket list.
Is it?
Well, mine too.
Because I love Aurora Borealis so much. I have so many Aurora Borealis pieces. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is exciting.
So my son is a geological engineer, and he told me today that you can actually see a little bit of the Northern Lights, the Aurora Borealis, in northern Tennessee now, because the polar ends, I guess, the polar magnetic ends are about to switch, and it happens like every 33,000 years or something. So at some point,
it's 2020. Why wouldn't it?
Yeah, isn't that wild? So now, like in the compass, your compass, instead of the arrow pointing north, the arrow is going to point south.
And how long will that be the case?
I don't know. He's who knows? He just
Get
learned
him on
it
the
in
call to
college.
interrogate him. There's lots of science questions related to that.
Yeah, I'll have to call him in here if I get any questions. He can answer them. But he said you can see these northern lights in Tennessee right now.
Wow. Let's just build an igloo hotel there, and then we won't be going to Sweden.
No, Sweden's the real thing. We got to
look at the pretty image there.
I'm sorry, Michael. I didn't mean to,
So many years ago, my sister and I had an industry invite to the Icehotel in Quebec City. And my sister and I drove there, and it was so mild that they hadn't started building it in January. So they put us up someplace else, but like we were going to go dog sledding. There was no snow. There was no ice. There was no freezing cold in Quebec.
Wow.
So I've always wanted to make up for that. It was going to be such a bucket list experience for us. So I've always wanted to make up for missing out.
We've got just the connection for you today.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Sweden, here we come.
Indeed.
Well, let's get started. Thank you all for adjusting your schedules to be with us today at an unusual hour. But as you can imagine, since we are going live to Sweden, it was necessary. And I just simply can't wait for you to see what these lovely folks have in store for you today. I'm Whitney Bradley with Retreats Resources. And for those of you who are new on the call, we welcome you. We do these each week until the end of time. And they're usually on Wednesdays at 4 o'clock. But we're doing this one today with the theme of a Scandinavian Christmas. And it's really going to be quite lovely, quite exciting. Let me give you just a little bit of rundown on the way we operate. We ask that you just keep yourselves muted unless you're speaking. If you have questions for the presenters, please put them in the chat box and I'll moderate those at the end. Hopefully they'll answer your questions during their presentation, but if not, I'll make sure that they do at the end. And we always give a little gift to the first 5 who log in at 5 till the call. So Carol's going to tell you about that. And
I do that right now, Whitney.
Sure.
See, Magnus has got his goodie bag right there. Yeah. Apparently there is a chocolatier in New York that specializes in Swedish chocolates. Is that right, Magnus?
That's correct. They're called Bon. Bon is Swedish candy store. Fantastic. You're a kid in a candy store when you go in there.
And would you like to tell these 5 folks what they're going to get from Bon Bon?
It's a bit of a surprise, actually, but in here it's perfect for the holidays. We just got them delivered now, and it's a little box with the Swedish classics. And also one of you will receive a licorice taste too, as we have the Vasa Museum, the most visited museum in Scandinavia. We thought that gunpowder and so on was pretty fun to do. So there's one box with the licorice. So you have to wait and see what's under the Christmas tree with you for these chocolates.
Great.
That's
going to go along with the Maui gems that Kelly McAllister will be awarding. But Magnus has a small chocolate gift for the following 5 people, and I'll need you to send me an email with your physical mailing address. And those 5 people are Megan Bray, Cindy Farrell, Glennis Judy, Kimberly Bean, and Michelle Battleline. So Carol at retreatsresources.com, and need those addresses, please, so that Magnus can be Santa Claus. And he
And
looks
the
like
phone
a
number, please.
he looks like a slender, handsome version of Santa Claus, doesn't he?
Oh, thank you. That's very
Magnus said also, please include your phone number. They will be shipping that FedEx, so FedEx requires phone numbers. So you 5, please send that to Carol, and I put her email address in the chat box.
Indeed. Indeed. So Kelly Mack has some Wi-Fi problems. I don't know if she's on yet.
I'm
but,
here.
all right. Oh, there
Oh,
she
look, I'm here.
is. Our little bride to be. Look at her. Is that the hat you're going to wear instead of a wedding veil?
Right? I'll save some money.
That should save considerably. Yeah, just wear those. The shower presents for Kelly are beginning to come in now. So you all on the call will be showering Kelly with Christmas cheer at the end of this call today. And Kelly, we appreciate you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Carol.
You're welcome. All right. Well, if you're ready to get started, I'm ready to turn the floor over to the folks that I call my M squad. Turns out there's 5 of them, not 4, and they all begin with the letter M. So just like in Sesame Street, this is going to prevent me from having to say their last names correctly.
Oh my gosh, we are 5 M's. I never
There
thought
are
about that.
5 M's. We were just talking about, doesn't anybody have a name that doesn't begin with M in the Swedish culture? I don't know.
Well, you know, normally it's known for Lars, Lars, and Lars. If you've seen Priscilla, Queen of Desert, it's Lars, Lars, and Lars. But here is M, N, and M, N then. It's
That's
funny.
M-land, yes. I actually have a friend whose son is Magnus, so I'm especially fond of you, Magnus. Everyone, I'd like you to meet Magnus Lindbergh, who is the director of the Swedish Tourism Office in New York. He represents the country of Sweden in all the various aspects of travel there, both for group and leisure. I've been delighted to get to know him, and he's just full of wacky but crazy but creative ideas. And I know you all are going to really enjoy hearing from him. And I'm going to let him introduce his M squad of Maria, Mikael, and Matthias. Those other M people, I'm going to let Magnus introduce them. Magnus, take it away.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Carol and Whitney, for making this possible. It was actually Maria Andersson from the Grand Hôtel that contacted me and we got a fun thing to do with retreat resources. And I thought, this is fantastic, so let's do it. And because we have had our own Swedish classroom series, which is a educational webinar series that's been running all through the year to educate you on different aspects of Sweden. And now we have a new luxury also in Sweden, you know, when everybody's talking about social distancing, etc. Sweden is the place for you. We cannot wait until we are going back to the regular social distancing in Sweden. Normally it's 6 feet now, but normally we have a 12 feet social distancing in Sweden. Kidding, it's a big country and it's only 10 million people living there. So you have a lot of space. It's also a new luxury to include Swedish Lapland into your incentives or meetings. It's a great destination. It's really, they invite you to take part of their Arctic lifestyle. Mikael will tell you more about that. And I'm going to just start the presentation. And first of all, I know you all are very well traveled. I just want to point out where Sweden is located on the global map. It's almost in the center, as you can see, and that's how we Swedes perceive ourselves on the global map. We are in the northern part of Europe, but we are very close to Amsterdam, Frankfurt, London, Paris, if you want to do a combination of Sweden and these countries. Great connections. Normally, we work with Scandinavian Airlines. It's part of it's not part of One World, it's part of Star Alliance. And on regular years, we fly from Boston, New York, DC, Chicago, San Francisco, Los Angeles, and Miami. That, as we all know, have come to a halt this year, but hopefully 2021 and onward that will be changing. Any of you been to Sweden? If you remember, if you had a program in Sweden, it's more than Swedish herring and the Swedish chef in the Muppet Show. I would say that the culinary scene is really off the charts. It's on fire. It's an incredible food scene there at the moment. And also what they managed with this year, it's actually opened new restaurants in the middle of a pandemic. I think that's fantastic. You go there for the nature and you go there for sustainable and conscious travel. Everywhere you are, even in Stockholm. Stockholm is 1/3 of water, 1/3 of green parks, and 1/3 populated area. So nature is always close to us. And when we say sustainability, it's sort of a buzzword, but we actually include the social sustainability and economical sustainability. And that goes very well with the US travelers, because you tend to come in periods like August, September, October, which are great months for doing incentives, or May and June. Those are sort of the high season. But for winter, if you do a combination with Stockholm and the Icehotel, January, February, that helps the economical sustainability because it comes in during a low season, you may say. The culture and the history is obviously another reason why going there, and as well as the design and the art. It's a very open and modern society. You see that from your land to the park. Amazing city of Stockholm. If you haven't been there, I can highly recommend it. I'm paid to recommend it too, so it makes it easier. And this is Stockholm by night, just a part of it. You can see the city hall up here. That's where the Nobel banquet is held every year, except this year. The Royal Palace and the Grand Hotel is actually just, if you see my cursor, is on fast to both the Houses of Parliament and the Royal Palace. But we have decided, and we're going to introduce the Grand Hotel. Maria Andersson, the Director of Sales there, and Mikael Videll is there. We also have the Sales Manager from the Icehotel, Mikael Dahlberg, and then obviously Matthias Andersson, who is almost as famous as the Empire State Building in the US from the Vasa Museum. So those are us. It's going to be a live presentation, a lot of parts, and then I'm going to give it over to the Grand Hotel now, which is a classic PowerPoint presentation for a while.
Oh, a warm welcome this evening to the Grand Hotel here in Stockholm, known as the Grand Dame of Sweden. With our waterfront location that Magnus mentioned, located in the very heart of Stockholm, overlooking the Royal Palace, the Swedish Parliament, and the old town of Stockholm. The hotel itself is very historical and was actually opened in the year 1874. So we are more than 140 years old and became the first proper 5-star deluxe hotel in Sweden when we opened. And we still maintain that position today. And we're also a proud member of leading hotels of the world, which you might be familiar with. But I'm actually going to take you inside of the hotel, and we've pre-recorded a short video for you. So warm welcome inside.
Magnus, please share the computer audio for this.
Bear with me, sorry. I
That's
thought
okay.
we did plan this.
I was just going to say how smoothly this is going, considering some of our other presentations in the past and the screen sharing and the
So
hands off.
what you may have to do, Magnus, is stop sharing your screen and then choose to share it again, and then click that audio button before you share it.
It's a rite of passage. I feel like I had to do
There we go. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Welcome inside of the Grand Dame of Sweden, the Grand Hôtel Stockholm. So we're now standing in the lobby of the hotel, and up here on the wall, as you can see, the beautiful looking gentleman, Mr. Guy Carrier, who was the founder of the Grand Hôtel and opened it in 1874, as Malin mentioned earlier. And next to him up on the wall, we have the well-known Wilhelmina Skog. She was one of our very first female general managers back in the beginning of the 1900s. Yes, you heard right. Already then we had a female general manager here at the Grand Hôtel. But now I'm handing back over to Molly.
And I will take you through the lobby. Here is our front desk, to the Cartier bar, and it is named after our founder, Monsieur Rishi Cartier. Here is our recently founded champagne bar. This is the Cartier bar. This is where we serve lovely cocktail drinks, breakfast, lunch, and dinners, and afternoon tea.
So, when you arrive with your group, maybe you arrive by boat, docking outside of the main entrance of the Grand, and you come into this warm and lovely lobby, sit down, have a welcome cocktail before you get ready to start your meeting program or event program. Meeting and events is a very integral part here at the Grand Hôtel, and we have a total of 25 meeting and banquet rooms, ranging from smaller boardrooms to the medium-sized rooms, who are also ranging in style. So on the top level of this picture, you can actually see some of our very historical rooms overlooking the palace, perfect for a welcome dinner for 50 people. Or maybe you need to have a more modern meeting, then you can do so in the rooms of New York or Stockholm. The Stockholm room that you can see here is actually an auditorium that can seat up to 216 people. But moving over to the next slide is actually showing you the most well-known banquet room here at the Grand, and that's where I'm also standing right now. It's the Hall of Mirrors that happens to be the original place for the Nobel Prize Award dinners. It all started here in 1901 and was held for the first 29 years until the event got too large and they had to move it to the City Hall where it's hosted today. But we still wish all the Nobel Prize winners a warm welcome every year. They come to Stockholm to pick up the prizes when they come to stay with us. I would like to finish off with the largest ballroom, which is coming up next, and that is called the Winter Garden. And I mentioned in the short introduction video, Wilhelmina Skog, the female general manager. It was her creating the Winter Garden, and it was opened in 1909 and used to be a place where we hosted big wine and dine events, so to say. So as you can see here on the picture, it used to have live plants and fountains. But Mikael, my colleague that I have with me this evening, will be talking a little bit more about what you can do in here today. So over to you, Mikael, in the Winter Garden.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Mikael Videll, the fifth M in this presentation. I'm the sales manager for all leisure travel and entertainment travel here at the Grand Hotel. But before that, I was a project manager for the event side for 15 years. So it's no event I haven't been doing here at the hotel. So I'm standing in Winter Garden that we closed down 3 years ago and renovated. So the picture that Maria showed you, the ones now is a little bit slightly more modern. So some facts about the Winter Garden. You have entrance from both the hotel side, or you can have a separate entrance from the street on the other side of the hotel. When you rent Winter Garden, you can seat up to 600 people. We also include free breakout rooms in this venue. When we closed it and renovated, we focused a lot on the AEV, and we have state-of-the-art technology in this room today. And I want to show and share with you 2 slides from 3 events that I've been doing here at the Grand Hotel. The left one is from the Polar Music Prize. This is the same year that I think Grandmaster Flash won the Polar Music Prize. And on the right side, you see a little bit from the Elle Gala, which is a big fashion show that we have here in Stockholm every year in January. In the room itself, you have 52 different staged plots with podiums 1.2 meters. So you can have a small stage in the center. You have it on the right side or in the left side, wherever you want. We have a lead ceiling and we have 16 black tracks. And black tracks is something like, if I put a little bit dot on my suit here, I have the black tracks following with my light wherever I've been standing in the Winter Garden. We also have a 20,000 Andersson projector showing the presentation that you have. And the most important thing that you see, the ceiling of and the walls of the Grand Hotel, we have a 360 projection. We have actually 6 different themes that you can have to show on the walls. This one was produced by the Polar Music Prize on their own. But the fun thing is that you can have the logos on the left side, you can have a presentation notes on the right side, you can show movie on the walls, whatever you want to do. Next slide, please, Matthias.
Very cool.
Yes, and this is one of the biggest events that we have, and this is from the Brilliant Minds event, and this is just a couple of minutes before President Obama went up on stage speaking. And every December we finish up with one big thing, and that's the Christmas table. So I'm going to teach you the most important thing. Yesterday I recorded a video in the kitchen, so please, Magnus, meatballs.
Hi, and welcome to the kitchen at the Grand Hotel. My name is Mikael Videll. I'm the sales manager for leisure and entertainment here at the Grand Hotel. I'm standing here with my colleague Kim, one of our executive chefs, and we're going to teach you the secret of the Swedish meatball. So Kim, how do you make the perfect meatball?
First of all, I use 70% beef and 30% pork.
Yeah.
Mix it together with bread crumble, egg white, cream, fried onions, salt and pepper.
So, but how many meatballs do we do during Christmas time?
Last year, 120,000.
Guys, that's a lot of meatballs. The story of the meatball, how it came to Sweden, you have actually 3 different stories. You guys have probably tasted the meatballs at IKEA around the world, but this is a slightly upgraded version. The first, you've discovered the meatball at the English court around the year 1000, and it was said it would travel up to Sweden and then started to be served. The second option is that we had a Swedish king that fought a war with Russians, lost the war, and he had to flee in exile to Turkey. And when he came back to Sweden, he brought the meatballs with him. And the third option that all the Swedes believe is that the Swedish meatball is born and raised here. So Kim, what do you have on the plate here?
Mashed potatoes.
That's really, you have butter in that and also cream, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Meatballs and cream sauce.
That's really creamy sauce, that's...
And to that, lingonberries, pickled cucumber, a little bit of chives on top.
So what do you think, what makes this dish so unique?
I think there is the combination of sweet and sour, together with the mashed potatoes, creamy sauce, meatballs.
So guys, here you have it, the Swedish meatballs.
Yum. So guys, this is a must when you come to Sweden, that you taste the Swedish meatballs. So where are you going to find your clients when they're not in the conference? Well, you heard about the Carrier bar and the champagne bar. We have 4 different other options. On the right side, you will see the Veranda restaurant, a traditional Swedish restaurant where we try to restore a lot of Swedish food. You have the smorgasbord, the fish season, the Christmas table, and the buffet breakfast in the morning for your clients. On the left side, on the bottom, you will have two different restaurants, which is run by Matthias, the first Swedish chef that won the Bocuse d'Or. The left one is Matbaren, which is a little bit like a modern bistro. And the second one is Rutabaga, a 100% vegetarian restaurant, really, really interested in something that I really can recommend. On the right side, you will see the cafe that we are running during summertime. And in between that, you will have the wine cellar. 18,000 bottles, the biggest wine cellar in Northern Europe. And then in the middle, in the upper picture, you will have the terrace restaurant. And you know, Maria, you remember that last year we did a really good event that a big group of 450 people rented the entire terrace. You had food stations. The weather was absolutely brilliant. You remember that?
Yes, it was a fantastic event and something to recommend for your bigger groups, definitely during the summertime.
So over to you, Maria.
Thank you, Mikael. So, of course, you would need somewhere to accommodate your guests with the overnight stays as well, and we would love to welcome them here. Of course, so we have a total of 273 rooms. That is including 65 suites. And I would say out of the North American market, which is our biggest market here at the Grand, we have a great variation that we can offer the groups. So anything from our more regular rooms, superior deluxe, or actually our suites. A lot of the exclusive incentive groups tend to actually book the suites. So you have example that you can see here, a junior suite, but we have some beautiful signature suites when you want to upgrade the guests as well. And I brought a few images of those. And what is a 5-star deluxe hotel without a presidential suite, right? So our presidential is called Princess Lilian, and she is 3,500 square feet in size with its own little mini cinema, taking it. Right. So we work very highly with security here at the Grand, directly with the Foreign Ministry and the security police of Sweden as well. But I'm going to let Mikael finish off a little bit here with the last but not least.
I mean, all 5-star hotels. This is Nordic spas. You will have a lot of treatments that are based in the Nordic.
Mikael, we don't hear you now.
Oh, do you hear me better now?
Yeah, wonderful.
Okay, yeah. Well, you have a lot of the Nordic treatments there at the spa. And of course, the sauna experience, and that's a must. You can do a yoga class or go to the gym. And also you have 3 different spa suites if you want to book with for yourself. So it's amazing spa. But to finish off,
Let's wrap it up.
Yeah, you know,
right.
I mean, all the traditions that we have in Sweden when it comes to food, we always drink snaps. So it's the last thing we can do. And we also just sing all the time.
We do sing all the time. It's an integral part. So it doesn't matter if it's Christmas or midsummer or Easter celebration, but you need to really get into the mood and learn the Swedish snap tradition. So we are serving tonight their own produced Grand Hôtel snaps that comes in this little bottle that we poured into those glasses, and we're now going to sing in Swedish.
Sorry. We tried to do this in English. It didn't really work. No. So we can do it in Swedish. Okay.
Okay. Hej tomtegubbar, slå i glasen och låt oss lustiga vara. Hej tomtegubbar, slå i glasen och låt oss lustiga vara. Lever här med mycket möda och stor besvär. Hej tomtegubbar, slå i glasen och låt oss lustiga vara. Skål! Skål!
Skål!
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Maria and Mikael. Great presentation. We are now moving over to the Vasa Museum, most visited museum in Scandinavia, and it's all about one object. And we have one of the best guys at the ship. You're not on the ship, but Matthias Andersson, the stage is yours.
Right, thank you. I'm your host. My name is Matthias Andersson, and I'm happy to invite you to this digital visit at the Vasa Museum. I'm not only your host tonight, I'm also the sound technician and also the camera guy. My technical team, I apologize on their behalf because they're not very skilled, but your host is great. The museum is now closed to visits. It is because of the year that we're in, but it's also because it's rather late in Sweden. So I'm actually the only person in the museum, and I'm really happy to have you all with me. Otherwise, it would be rather scary, I think. I'm in front of the ship, a royal warship, Vasa, that was built in Stockholm in 1626 to 1628. It was commissioned by the Swedish king at the time, Gustavus Adolphus. He needed a big fleet to fight all the wars that were going on in the Baltic and around the Baltic Sea. And he commissioned the Vasa to be his private warship. Therefore, it was the largest ship that ever was built, and it was the most decorated ship, and it was also the most heavily armed ship. 1626 to 1628, contemporary with what happened in Manhattan was when the Dutch bought the lower part of Manhattan from the Native Americans. We were building this ship behind me. The king never got to sail with it because it sank on its maiden voyage, having sailed less than a mile, less than 20 minutes. And in fact, the ship did not even leave harbor. It tipped over and sank within 4 minutes. The king was not furious when the news was brought to him that his private ship had sunk in the harbor of Stockholm. That was the end of the story for another 333 years. And it was not until 1961 when the ship was raised out of the water just outside here in one of the many islands that we have in Stockholm. It didn't come up as it looks today behind me. It came out in fragments and pieces, but it has been restored. And what you can see today is 98% original pieces. 2% have been reconstructed to give a full image of what it is. And I think actually you can see on the picture on the screen right now that some parts are darker in color and has a sort of shinier surface. And those are the reconstructed parts. But apart from that, it's 98% original pieces. I will try to walk you through the museum a little bit. It would be a challenge. Don't blame me, it's my technical team. Just to give you an idea of the size of the ship and also what you can do here. It is, as Magnus said, Scandinavia's most visited museum with normally 1.5 million visitors a year. This year we're now in our second closure, but hope to open early next year with, arrangements that suits safe visits and so on. 90 minutes, perfect time for a visit. You can come during daytime and sort of get crowded with everybody else. Enjoy guided tours, documentary movies, exhibitions, because we did not only find the ship, which is the largest object, but we also found clothes, costumes, cups, plates, weapons, tools, and so on. So it's a cultural, historical museum dedicated to the people who lived in early 17th century Sweden. So we have their private, not suitcases, but wooden chests and their clothes. We have the skirts and the trousers, and we have the boots and so on. So it's a really interesting museum. I'm gonna put on my glasses, walk out of picture, and try to take you on a little tour around here. So bear with me now a little bit, but I want to show you the sculptures of the Stern Castle. No, I'm gonna do it slowly. You can see lions holding a shield in between them. You can see warriors, goddesses, deises, all deriving from Greek, Roman, and Scandinavian folklore and mythology. And I'm going to tilt it up a little bit. And there you can actually see see the lighter replicas, whereas the original is more dark in color.
Matthias,
And on top, you can actually...
been painted originally? Would these have been
Yes,
painted?
they would have been painted. And I'm going to show you replicas of how they were painted as soon as I cut the corner here. But I wanted to show you, it's tricky. You can see a little boy on top. And a crown is being put on his head. That's the king who commissioned it.
Oh, wow.
He's portrayed as a young boy on his private ship. Oh, sorry about this. I'm going to hurry up a little bit. Show you some more of the sculptures, the rigging, and turn over and come into our latest exhibition, which actually focus on some key sculptures that we have painted because they were polychronically painted because warships in Vasa's time wanted to be seen like a peacock, not go under the radar like today. So this actually highlights some 30 sculptures and their symbolic meaning and function, what they wanted to tell. Turn back towards the ship. I hope you can see something. Parts of the rig is also original. Back to some of the, I wanted to show you the Little Mermaid. There she is. A little bit blurry. There you go.
Oh, there we go.
And being the Christmas season, Swedes are crazy about mulled wine. We call it glögg. I thought I invite you to the Vasa Museum's Christmas table, and I'll show you the glögg. Usually you do it yourself. Magnus, help me out. It's spiced with what?
Oh my goodness, it's so many spices in it, allspice and pepper, ginger, star anise and so on. It's incredible. It's delicious. I think you should have a cup actually.
I will. I just wanted to also show you the classical gingerbread cookies.
Yum.
Fantastic. And also museum you can visit during opening hours, but you can also book this for private tours, combine it with drinks, food, which is inspired by 17th century ingredients and flavors. It's catered for by our museum restaurant. And we host up to 800 guests or 2,000 at a standing buffet. But the nicest way to experience it is at a private visit with friends. And with that, I made it warm, but I think it's cold now, but it's still delicious.
Did you add some vodka in it too? That's also very good. So it's almost get pale as a rosé wine. I think it's the best way to.
No, I'm driving home after this.
Matthias, I think it's incredible, and the audience have shown or seen what is really the top priorities when looking into Stockholm. You've seen the spectacular Grand Hotel and also this magnificent ship. And I've been proud and I've been honored to be at many of the functions there. And the food at the Vasa Museum is out of this world. Really, really good. And they know how to take care of high-end travelers if it's for an incentive or so, or with friends, as you say, really incredible. And most importantly, I think it tells a little bit about the people in our industry, how we are so passionate of what we are doing. The museum is closed due to the pandemic. Matthias is on site there almost alone, but there is quite a lot of security. And then, you know, you're filming on your own. I'm sorry about your tech team. I understand they don't want to be there at 7, but that's also something that I think goes very well with our industry that we are in. You know, the passion and the support and so on, the want to do something. So that's another reason why we're so happy to show you this today. We are going to, and we are doing this in a flow. You can either start with the Icehotel in the Swedish Lapland and then come down to Stockholm. But now we are going to say thank you to Matthias, and we are going to fly up to Kiruna, 1 hour and 20 minutes flying, and where we hopefully have Mikael Dahlberg on site and in the Icehotel, which is actually now or constantly 29 degrees Fahrenheit. So, Mikael, are you with us?
I am with you. Hi, everyone. I'm sorry I couldn't show my camera before, but for me it's in 29 degrees. I need to preserve the battery. Pretty important for the entire presentation, definitely. But I'm inside the Icehotel right now. I'm going to try to show you guys as much as possible of the hotel, and we actually opened just 3 days ago for the winter season. So right now I'm standing inside our hotel that's open all year round, and each and every winter we are building a new hotel completely from scratch, which melts down each and every year, and we've been doing this for about 31 years now. So I'm gonna flip my camera over and try to start to show you guys. So this is my room.
Really? Wow.
Everything built in ice.
Goodness.
And everything you see is, of course, handmade as well. So 29 degrees, you would be staying inside of one of these sleeping bags. I get actually really, really warm and comfy inside here. If you're ever staying out in the cold, the entire trick is don't wear too much clothes. Sounds horrible, but that's the truth. If you wear too much clothes, you'll never get warm. You need to spread your body heat out inside the sleeping bag. And if you wear too much clothes, you never heat up the sleeping bag. So less clothes you wear, the faster you get warm. I'm gonna say hello to my friend, just at the other side. And this is Princess.
Oh, wow.
And this room was finished about 4 weeks ago. So this entire creation, they have 3 weeks to complete it. So we get artists coming from all over the world. US is our second biggest group of artists after Sweden. And I was told you're supposed to bring drinks. And definitely pun intended, I have the coolest glasses. So we do drink from the ice. We try to incorporate the ice in as many ways as possible. And this is our champagne glasses. And if you're up in our restaurant, you can actually eat from the ice too. We make plates out of the ice to serve for food. And of course, we're after hours. And show you guys a few rooms. We do have guests staying here at the moment. Luckily, all the walls inside here, they are really, really thick. They can hear a thing of me. I could be yelling out in the corridor, but it's basically soundproof. One of our rooms called Oh Dear, created by 2 Swedish artists. And everything you see here is temporary. So everything that's created here will only last for some time, a couple of months, a year, and then it gets to melt back into the river. So everything that you see is made from the neighboring river, which is called the Torne River. So all the ice, all the snow you see comes from the water spring just next to us. And as you can see, all the rooms, they look completely different from each other. The key here is when you're working with the art, you're supposed to have as big of a spread as possible. So, when you're working with the art, it's just like working with music. So probably in this webinar, we probably have a few who likes hip hop, some like country music, some maybe like rock pop music. There needs to be something for everyone. There's always quite a big spread with the art. And the most important thing is if something has been made before, it can never come back. Always needs to be new art as well. In here, we got 18 rooms open 365 days a year. And everything eventually returns back into the river. So right now, I'm going to go past our cinema, we actually have a movie theater made with the ice too. I'm just gonna grab a peek. We're actually using this tonight. It's a bit dark to see. We actually have a theater in sub-zero degrees. Of course, since we're a hotel, you always use the fire extinguishers here. Very important. Rarely burns in the Icehotel. And this would be our ice bar. So this is where you will be the most popular room inside the hotel, where everyone grabs their drink. You can use this for private functions. We do have actually weddings inside here too. So this is definitely our most popular room. Outside this window, we are basically just 20 meters away from the actual river. So we're just next to the water. And of course, now it's frozen. And if we just look up, we got our chandelier. Each and every year we make these chandeliers. We have about 8,000 of these crystals hung up into the ceiling. Everything is handmade. And we'll just walk outside the doors. And of course, now it's about 7:30. This could also be 2 o'clock in December. Right now we have what we call the polar nights. So we don't get a sunrise for another 26 days. It's not always pitch black. We do get basically daylight, but only a couple of hours a day. And right now it's a bit hard to see on camera, but it's really, really snowing.
It looks so serene and beautiful. It's a really incredible place.
Everything you see right in front of me didn't exist about 5 weeks ago.
Mikael,
so everything you'll see. Yep.
Excuse me. We have a few questions.
Of course.
First of all, someone wants to know: are the floors slippery, and how does the lighting work?
Well, the floors, they do get slippery, but we have actually during the years, each and every week we switch out all the floors in the hotel. So we remove the top layer of the snow, bring it outside. It will melt back into the river eventually, and you bring a new fresh snow from outside. So the goal is that the floor always looks fluffy. Then we know it's not slippery. Okay. And the lighting is now everything is with LED lights. So we are able to have lights inside the ice as long as we radiate the heat from the light to the back side of the ice blocks. So anything that's basically colored or has a different color is made by lights, and there's never anything inside the ice.
Okay. And someone writes that she thought this Icehotel was in a James Bond movie.
It's not.
Okay.
But the inspiration is from here. We have been asked for actually the movie, but the landscape wasn't completely right with the theme of the rest of the movie. So the inspiration is from here, but the movie was shot in Iceland.
Okay. And what about the plumbing?
No plumbing.
No plumbing in the ice side, only in the warm side.
Only in the warm side. So in our lecture suites, as an example, you have a warm room connected right next to the cold room. So you can walk basically in between your sauna and into sub-zero degrees within a matter of seconds. But in the actual cold parts, there's no plumbing, everything would freeze. We have a specific actually set of rules from the Swedish authorities that allows us not to have sprinkler systems inside the cold parts of the hotel. So we can skip the plumbing. So anything you would need plumbing for, you would be going into different buildings.
All right, and then tell us once again about the daylight and the times of the year.
So in December, so basically just a couple of days ago, we had the last sunrise of the year. Oh. So we won't get a sunrise, so the sun will rise over the horizon for another about 26 days until the beginning of January. So then we have a window of between maybe 11 and 1 o'clock where we have daylight, and the rest of the day we basically have the darkness. The good part, so we don't feel sad about this, is that this is one of the best periods of the year to see the northern lights too. So we're not left alone in the dark.
Thank you.
And the chandeliers, they also made in ice, aren't they?
Also made in ice. So everything that's possible to make in ice, we make in ice basically. And we're actually continuing to work on the hotel, so we are always building new things throughout the entire winter. This is our ceremony halls. We have about 40 weddings here this winter. 99% of the couples, they wear the regular suits and dresses. Average time for a wedding is about 15 minutes. And everything you see here is designed by different artists coming from all over the world. And the artist who wants to come and work here, to basically compete to be able to work at the Icehotel. So we choose maybe 10% of the artists that apply. They get to come here, they design a room, and they also have to build it. So they can't only just draw something and we make it for them. They actually have to make it themselves. And I'm just going to try to back up if you can see the size. This is how a block looks like when we pick it up from the river. It's about 2 meters to the top. It weighs about 2 tons. And each and every year we pick up about 2,000 of these blocks. And this is the thickness of the ice on top of the water. So we can drive snowmobiles, dog sleddings. You can basically land an aircraft on top of the ice and feel secure. So we can do all types of winter activities on the ice and in the forest. Of course, dog sledding under Northern Lights and snowmobiling under Northern Lights are the 2 most popular things that we do. And inside,
so Michael, can you tell what is your favorite transportation from the airport to the hotel?
Definitely dog sledding.
Yeah.
So you just jump off the plane. You walk into the gate. The gate up here is, we only have 1 gate. Barely spend any time at the airport. You get dressed into winter clothes, get on a dog sled. 7 minutes later, you're in the hotel.
Mikael, what are the rates for your peak season and off peak? Or actually, is there an off peak?
There is in the summertime when the hotel melts away. that's our off peak. But we always have a set of contracted rates for all our partners that we work with, which might be different from the website where we work more like the airlines with dynamic prices. But an average room, you could say, in the cold ranges from about $400 to about $1,250, depending on which room category you go for.
And is that just for your room, or does it include activities or food? Or tell us a little bit more about that.
That is only the room with breakfast, of course, and also you got all the winter gear, everything that you need, and we provide you with the sleeping bag as well to stay in. We don't expect anyone to be bringing their own sleeping bag before they arrive here.
Thank you.
That's a good part. You can actually you can be dressed as we are here and fly straight up with a connection in Stockholm. And then you get winter equipped by the Icehotel when you arrive and before you jump on to the dog sleds that takes you to the hotel. I would say there is a question popping up now to do a really great program. If you stay 3 nights at the Icehotel to do activities like driving and snowmobiling and so on, stay 3 nights there and 2 or 3 nights in Stockholm. You can do it 2 at the Icehotel too, and then 3 in Stockholm. But don't you agree that that's a good time to have to get the experience of the Icehotel?
I would say you can, depending on how the program looks, 2 full days and a half day at the Icehotel, you can push quite a lot of activities into.
Michael, I have a question. Talk to me about the dining experience. Are all of the meals taken on the warm side? Is there a restaurant on the cold side? Tell us a little about that.
We have the main restaurant is a warm place, so you don't have to freeze. We can arrange special occasions with us bringing food, seafood platters or anything like that down into the cold parts of the hotel too. But I would say mainly you would be staying inside the warm restaurant, eating from the ice instead.
Okay. And I had another question. I think Whitney touched on it, but I wanted to be clear. Does every cold room have a bathroom that's warm so that if you have to use the bathroom in the night, you go into a warm place? Or how does that work if there's no plumbing?
9 of the rooms, they have a connected bathroom to their cold part, but the other rooms you would have to walk just a bit. The good part is when you're sleeping in the cold, your mind actually plays a bit of a trick on you, because when you're yep, this is from my own experience. You wake up in the middle of the night. Of course, once you put your feet inside your shoes, you'll feel it's cold, and your body will tell you it's cold outside. You're not wearing really any clothes, and instantly you will basically place your arm just like this across your chest, because you want to protect what's most valuable, which is inside here, the heart, of course. And then you just walk to the bathroom and you don't really think about it anymore.
What a brilliant answer. Thank you.
The trickiest part, I would say, to stay here is just walking out to bed. Some people take a long time to get ready for it. Some people just go straight away. A lot more customers than you think. They spend one night inside of our cold rooms, come back the following days, try to trade their warm night to another night in one of the ice rooms.
Is that right?
That actually happens. Yeah.
Wow. What a unique experience. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Incredible. It's really one of the first ever built ice hotel, and I get homesick. I almost get stirring up. I've been to the ice hotel for quite some many times, and it's just gorgeous up there. So I hope we will get the whole group to the ice hotel soon.
Well, I think that sounds like a marvelous idea, Magnus.
Yes. So I'm going to fiddle here. I'm not sure if you see what I'm doing, but we are coming to a closure of today's webinar. And we've seen them live, and I just wanted to show you some of the bonbon guys, what candy you're getting. And also we have put together some Swedish flavors for you here. It's adding, so we're going to get the meatballs from the Grand Hotel, going to send them later on. But we do have cinnamon buns, for instance, incredible cinnamon buns here, a recipe, and also a buttermilk bread, which is delicious. Even if it's called summer cake, you can do that any time of the year if you find strawberries. And then obviously the fried Baltic herring, delicious. And I saw you had a cocktail there. Here is another. We did a webinar with Malmö the other week, and Absolut is close by there. So they created this early punch for us. It's Earl tea and then punch. And then,
are you trying to share your screen right now?
Yes. Sorry.
Okay, we're only seeing you right now.
Oh,
So
that's not too bad.
Click on the green share screen button at the bottom of the.
There's
of the
Raphael now when I need him. Okay, so do you mind if I go back a bit?
Please do.
Look at that.
You know, I get so nervous when I'm doing this. So what I wanted to tell you, we had some Swedish flavors. I talked about those Swedish flavors. We're going to get the meatball recipe, so we're adding that. The cinnamon buns are a recipe, a great buttermilk bread, strawberry cake, and fried herring. A drink, a cocktail. I saw you had espresso dry martinis, which is delicious. But here is also something fun. We are working a lot with the sustainability, and here is a great recipe for planners' tired feet after a full day at events. You use baking soda and lavender in. Also, you can make it sparkle even more by using this eco-friendly glass shine spray, and you can. I haven't tried it, but I have a friend that did that, an eco whitening toothpaste, which you use turmeric and cocoa oil in. And the teeth will be completely yellow until you take it with a regular toothbrush, and they're white like snow. So that's really us. We are here to give you any directions where you want to go in Sweden. You're going to get the full presentation with the Grand, the Vasa, and the Icehotel as a PDF format. And also, please join us for other initiatives next Tuesday, I believe the 22nd of December. I'm actually have invited a Swedish pastry chef who's going to bake with us live on our culinary classroom for Swedish classroom. So by that, now it's time for some Q&As, I believe.
Magnus, one of the things that came up a couple of times already is I think lots of people would love those recipes. So you'll be receiving a report tomorrow with email addresses of everyone who's on the call today. We had a very large group today. We were up to 37 people. So that speaks well of you and your team and all of your wonderful efforts. But if you wouldn't mind, send a note to all 37 of those folks and send those recipes if you can extract those slides. I know they're quite a few.
We'd be delighted to.
Good. I also just wanted to thank everybody on the M team on the other side of the ocean in faraway lands for doing an extraordinary holiday celebration for us. I can't thank you enough. It was one of the most unique, entertaining, and thoroughly delicious presentations we've had, and we've had 37 of these in a row now. So thank you very much. Your coordination and pulling a team together is remarkable, and we really appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
Whitney?
Thank you for having us.
Oh, no, it's a pleasure. Whitney, do you see any more questions in the chat box?
You know, I was looking, I tried to ask them, especially of Mikael as he was going along, because I believe out of the uniqueness of the property, there were more questions for him than there were for the Grand Hotel, you know. So let me just make sure. The rates, the website, how many nights, I think we've covered that. The restaurant, the floors, they're not slippery. I love Kimberly Bean said that the Icehotel is a great place to go if you're having a hot flash. So
yes, I saw that. Fantastic.
Maybe that's a new marketing angle that you could have, you know, for middle-aged women. You could do group sales for us. Someone asked, where's the ice jacuzzi? Haha. I think
we actually have one of the art suites. It's occupied right now by guests. That's called sauna, and it actually has an ice jacuzzi.
Really? Wow.
People get in that. Is it like an ice plunge?
Well, it's empty with water. We can't really keep it inside the hotel. So it's basically, you can just go in without your clothes, just sit down. You have quite cold air surrounding you.
Mikael, I did have a question. You know, when you arrive, you put your belongings in the warm hotel, right? You have a locker or a place to keep your belongings. So in essence, it's just yourself and the clothing you have on and your sleeping bag that is, you know, coming in and out of the room. Do people allow each other to see the other one's rooms? I mean, is there like because none of the rooms are alike. So could I walk into someone else's room while they're not there and look at it?
You can, yeah. So it works basically like a museum during the day, and then it turns hotel by night again. So yeah, you're spending a night in the museum. That's how it is. So museum by day, hotel by night.
Okay, yeah. Thank you. Is
there any teeth brushing? I mean, there's nothing like that, no?
Yes, of course. Before you go to bed, you have to brush your teeth.
You can brush your teeth. There's a place to do that. Okay.
Yes.
I'm worried.
We have a warm hangout place.
Well, I guess I have a lot of questions.
Well, this has been fantastic. Just what a unique experience this would be for anyone. And we just appreciate the orchestration of all this with all the different components. And Matthias also in that museum, it just looks fantastic. And we included, I believe, a photo from a private event there at the museum. So go back and look in your email about that. And if anyone needs to see that again, just let me know. We can send you that photo. But just what a unique space for a private event.
Indeed. Indeed. All right. Well, I think it's time for show and tell, Whitney. What do you think?
Sounds good.
I'm gonna ask anyone who prepared for this presentation today. Go ahead and please show off. Tell us your Christmas story. Tell us about your outfit. Tell us how you got ready for this call today.
I'll go. I don't have much to show off, but watching the presentation. So after college, I backpacked in Australia for a year and I traveled with different groups of people. I was solo, but I had a group of Swedish and Danish friends that I met. We called them the Vikings. So this whole presentation kind of brought this all full circle for me. And then we were traveling in summer there. So they did the midsummer frog dance for us one late night. And so years later, one of them, I'm still in touch with a couple of them. One of them sent me a How to Teach Myself Swedish book. So of course I mastered that. Not really, but she also sent me these straw ornaments, the Swedish ornaments that I pinned on like a brooch. So like the homemade straw ornaments from Sweden. So,
Can you do a toast in Swedish?
No, I didn't learn Swedish. She did send me a book. So it was like, teach yourself to speak Swedish in 3 months. And I'm like, where am I going to use this? Sweden. So I was trying to learn some phrases at the time, but so getting prepared for this, I was thinking of that experience, and you kind of touched on a little bit of the Vikings and the dancing and singing and the food, of course.
That's great. Wow. Thank you. What a great contribution. Who wants to go?
I'll go.
All right, Carol.
Can you hear me?
Glennis. Okay. Hey, Glennis.
Okay, so I wore my mink wrap, and I've got my Maui Jim sunglasses on because it's so bright there. And then I also have my 1950 Aurora Borealis earrings that are part of my collection that I had to wear to represent the Aurora Borealis. And I have to say, I know we're not supposed to say this, but this has probably been my most favorite Zoom call because everything was so beautiful and unbelievable and just mind-boggling. I can't get over everything that you showed us. I got a phone call and I had to take it, and I felt so bad taking it because I didn't want to miss anything, but I'm glad we're going to get the recap. So
you'll have the video, and thank you for those comments, Glennis. I know the M team is very grateful to hear that. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Carol.
Hi, everybody. Can I say something?
Yes, please. Who is that?
Hi, this is Randy. I just wanted to ask the M team a question. I did a little research about Swedish customs, and the thing that came up, I almost did a picture behind me of a wood coffee cup with cheese inside it, because I guess that's a big love of you guys having your coffee with cheese. And I just would love the M's comments about if they like coffee with cheese in it.
The cheese,
lumps of cheese.
Lumps of cheese.
I don't know. Is that a question for the Icehotel?
Yes, it is. It's very northern to eat that.
People think we're really odd, but it's amazing. Cheese and coffee go so well together. You can just say it and you understand it.
Wow. You just put some cheese cubes in your cup and pour the coffee on top of it and it gets all gooey. Is that what happens?
We do. It's a quite a different type of texture. You can almost, what's it called, a halloumi, almost a bit the texture of halloumi, and entirely different taste, of course. So it has a really, really mild taste. So the coffee, it basically, or the cheese gets the taste from the coffee. So it's actually really, really nice, especially if you're having a long outdoor day, just having coffee with cheese. It's perfect.
Whitney, that's
Carol, I'll send you my picture that I was going to use.
Okay.
Okay.
Coffee. I mean, I'd be all about that. And I know Whitney would. She drinks her coffee all day long. That would be lunch. Your lunch coffee would have cheese in it.
I'll go.
All right, Viking girl.
Okay, so if anybody's watched Vikings and they know Ragnar, anybody with me on that?
Yes.
Okay, everybody's seen Ragnar. If you've seen Ragnar, you probably want to be his wife. So Lagertha is his wife. So I just tried to channel her. I did tutorials. Do you know how hard it is? This is the best I could do. It took me like an hour, no joke. But the funniest part of all of this is we're so creatures of habit now with this fabulous Wednesday that I got myself together. I went to get my wine and I was like, uh-oh, it's 1:45. It is not 4 o'clock yet. So I put my glass of wine in the fridge and I got Bailey's instead. I thought that was kind of coffee-ish.
I've got my Kahlua and hot chocolate too, Carol. I was definitely with you on that.
Yeah, I was just like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe I'm just pouring that wine. I put it right away. So anyway, it was a wonderful, beautiful presentation. Again, I think it was one of the very best as well. It was fantastic.
I love the hair. Wow.
Well, I tried. I really, you can see the jewels.
Yes, indeed. And I'm sure Kelly is making note.
Yeah, it looks awesome, Carol.
Yeah. Who else?
I'll go.
All right.
All right. So you asked to share experiences. So I was born in South Africa, but my parents were from Holland. And Christmas in the South is in the middle of summertime. So it's very, very different. You're in the pool and you're having a barbecue, and we used to get our own Christmas tree every year, like 3 days before Christmas, because they don't last long. And then we would put live candles on the tree, sort of like Hanukkah candles. 24 candles is the tradition. And you would light it on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and New Year's Eve. So that was the tradition. But because it was so hot and dry, you had to keep a bucket of water right next to the tree in case the tree caught a light from the live candles in the trees. So that's the experience, the Dutch experience in Africa, and it is so different to a winter wonderland in the Northern Hemisphere. So from Olaf in Africa and Frozen, I wish you adieu.
Please take a picture of your incredibly cute here.
I will, thank you.
Get off. And
Thank you.
Okay, who else?
Hi there, it's Lori Meacham.
Lori.
Hi. Well, I am standing, of course, in front of one of my bucket list wishes is to see the Aurora Borealis. And this photo is from Sweden. And I brought along my little sled dog here. So I have gone sled dogging or dog sledding before, and it is a fabulous experience. And then also, I just wanted to remark about in the first part of the presentation, when our hosts were singing, we have great friends who every year, when it's your birthday, they call you and sing a Swedish happy birthday. So anyway, that was kind of a fun reminder. So thank you. It was an awesome presentation.
Thank you so much. And it looks great also with the image here. And the little doggy.
He's ready to go.
Yeah.
I know you're really good about sending me photos, Randy and Lori. Please do send me. Lori, you look particularly fetching today in front of the Borealis with your little dog and your cute outfit. So I'd love to let you take a starring role in our Facebook post. So
I need to go to the Icehotel to cool off.
You do? I know.
I had to turn the air down in the house.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay.
How about Kimberly?
Hey, I'm Southern Swedish here in Nashville. So I have my best apron on, my jewels, all my stuff. I've got Olaf on top of some Swedish chocolate.
Oh, good job.
I have my 2-year-old's grandbabies, Olaf and Elsa and Anna, balloons from the weekend. I have my Swiss mix hot cocoa. My very best serving pieces that look like ice.
Yes, beautiful.
My little trees that are ice. And then I'm cooking in my best icy looking jewels.
Wow.
Funny.
That's, and we just happened to have a Frozen theme when you had a birthday party with the balloon ready to go. Good job. Kimberly always has the most, one of the most creative presentations. And she's usually rivaled by Kathy West. I saw Kathy West on the call all dressed and bundled up. Kathy, are you still with us?
Yes, I am. And I'm checking in from my Icehotel, which is full of food that I'm about to go deliver to people. I'm wearing 2 hats today, Carol. I'm going to take this one off and switch over to my chef coat, because by the end of the day, I'm going to have to come out of my Icehotel. And I have about, I have to do 300 garlic rolls, 20 cheesecakes. Let's see, I'm going to try and pan around. Let's see if you can see this. There's several containers of spaghetti. I've got about 50 pounds of spaghetti, different kinds. And with COVID striking again, we're back to doing deliveries to the hospitals. Plus, if any of you want a sort of easy Christmas gift, everybody wants the gift of time. So to the special people in my life, and I wish a lot of you lived in Atlanta, I give a dinner so that they can spend more time with their family. So it was, I was kind of, I didn't have my picture up because I was multitasking, and I loved this. I agree. I think this was my favorite presentation, and it's on my bucket list. So I'll make it happen.
Kathy, that's awesome.
Thank you.
You are an angel in real life. Thank you. We love you.
Love
Catherine,
you too.
Catherine, we might recruit you over to the Grand to help us out with the 120,000 meatballs.
And I have been making meatballs, so that was pretty cool.
I would love it. Maria, you don't know this, maybe we are also celebrating our Maui Jim friend, Kelly McAllister, who's been with us weekly ever since we started this, with a gift of sunglasses for someone. And she's getting married in July, but her theme is Christmas in July. So we've been collecting ornaments and recipes and various Christmas treasures to give her. And I'll bet if you sent the original recipe for the Swedish meatballs with the lingonberries, she could maybe think about serving that at her wedding reception. So send it on and we'll compile it into a recipe book with some of the other.
We'll make sure
that would be awesome.
I also wanted to say hello to Peggy Sue Benson, who seems to be standing in front of a giant Christmas memorabilia. My goodness. How are you? Good to see you.
It's good to see you. I don't know how to turn this thing on or whatever, but I can see you.
Yeah, we see you too. Hello.
Okay.
You want to tell us about all those Christmas treasures behind you?
Just a big collection of Santas through the years from all different places I've enjoyed visiting, and including Sweden. And so hello to everybody. It's so good to see everybody. And it's wonderful to learn everything we did today.
Right. Well,
and if I can, and I can sing a song too.
Okay.
That's a great hat.
Well, you can select a Santa from your shelf.
Oh my God, that's an amazing
I better
hat.
turn it off now. You'll keep going on and on and on. There. And that ship is amazing. I've been lucky enough to go see it. It's incredible.
Thank you.
I also wanted to have a shout out for Kevin Eastman, who I think looks incredible today. Kevin, hey.
Hi, everyone. I just decided to kick it up a notch. So I actually, my pants and tie and coat match, but I wanted to say good Yule.
Good Yule.
I live in the Swedish neighborhood of Chicago, Andersonville.
Oh, nice.
And we have the Swedish Museum just right up the street on Clark Street. And I've got my glass of glögg. So I wanted to say skål and Merry Christmas, and thank you for letting me revisit the Grand Hotel. I was fortunate enough to stay there about 10 years ago. Did a tour of the archipelago, which was just absolutely stunning. And I can't wait to come back, and I want to stay at that Icehotel.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you.
God jul.
Okay, does anyone else want to show off, or does anyone else have a treasure to share with Kelly before we wrap up?
Oh, I have a treasure.
Oh, okay, Lori, what you got?
Okay, I'm going to be sending this. I don't know if you can see it. Anyway.
A red and green Christmas, okay.
A red and green Christmas. And it's my favorite holiday recipe for a vegetarian lasagna. And it is fabulous, fabulous. And of course it's all red and green and looks great. And then it's even more delicious when you eat it. So coming your way.
There's some reception.
Thank you.
Okay, Lori, that if it's a text, and send it to, if it's in text and it's not a tangible item, send it to Whitney, because we're going to put a book together of all these recipes. Email it to Whitney, and Kelly will eventually end up with a book of recipes.
Perfect.
Including those.
So excited about this.
And all of the beverages, actually, all of these grogs and various other things that were consumed, Magnus. Please be sure Whitney gets whatever recipes you've got. We'll put those in Kelly's little Christmas menu.
Will do, absolutely.
Great. Okay, so if no one else has anything to share, it's Kelly and Magnus's turn to select this week's winner. Good luck with that.
Oh, wow.
I guess I should have.
Magnus, would you like to award your winner first, or would you like for me to go?
Now, I would like you to go first, Kelly. Ladies first.
Okay, well, thank you. You want us to combine them? Hang on, then give me just a second. I'd like to chat with Magnus offline. Magnus, if you can read your chat box.
Magnus, you and Kelly chat, and you can agree on someone if you like.
Oh, this is something new.
Okay, at the bottom of the screen, there's something that says chat.
Yes.
So click on that. And then when you go over to the right column.
And I just sent you one.
It'll say everyone, or you can pull it down and you can private chat with Kelly.
Don't reply to everyone, because then we'll know what you're thinking.
Oh, there we go.
And if you
in the meantime, I will take the opportunity to just say this was an amazing tour, and I thought that our 5M hosts were phenomenal. I've never been, and I really enjoyed learning about everything and getting to, like kind of virtually see everything that was available. And I can't wait for the world to open back up. There's so many amazing places that I want to go see that I haven't been to yet. And Sweden is definitely just catapulted to the top of the list, because I thought, oh my God, wow, how absolutely fantastic. So thank you very much for being a phenomenal host.
If anyone has any ideas, we're looking for content for early in the year. Magnus, if you've got friends in New York in the tourism sector that would like to share their destination, please let me know that.
Absolutely.
We met Magnus and his team through the generosity of Kathleen Kelly, who introduced us to Maria. Maria introduced us to Magnus. So that's the way networking actually works. So thanks to Monte Carlo, we met Sweden. And thanks to Sweden, we're going to be another exotic and wonderful destination.
That's fantastic. I was wondering how we got hooked up with Sweden. I thought, well, they haven't been on a road show.
Well, Kathleen Kelly's husband works for Maria, or is Maria's boss, I believe. More like, is that right, Maria?
Yeah, that's correct. Dean actually just this week is moving to London as becoming general manager for the whole of leading hotels for Europe. But yes, they are married, and we've had Kathleen with us in Sweden since New York closed down. She managed to get on the last flight out of New York, and she spent the time here with the Dean. So we're very happy for them. Yeah.
Is she still there?
They're leaving this week, actually. They're more or less packing up, and he's moving to London now.
That's exciting. Well, it's much easier for her to get back and forth to London.
Exactly. Correct. Yeah.
Give her love and tell her we miss her. We hope that she'll pop in next Wednesday. I'll go ahead and spend some time doing a little promo. Next Wednesday, as many of you know, we're doing a 2-hour Zoom holiday party. Join us for as little or as much of that as you like. It's between 4 and 6 p.m. We will be making cookies. We will be having mini toasts, I'm sure. But the exciting thing that we're doing is we're having an auction of travel packages mostly, but there are some other things on the auction as well to benefit the victims of the hospitality community in Napa Valley who lost their jobs due to the fires up there. So Auberge is our partner on this project, and we have some fantastic travel packages that we'll be auctioning off next week. So please, everyone on this call, please join us. That includes my 5M friends that are my new friends from across the pond. And please, if you have a chance, join us. We'd love to see you.
Thank you, Carol.
Maria, pass that on to Kathleen, if you don't mind. If she's settled next week, we'd love to see her. And we're celebrating Kelly through the holidays. So bring your recipes, bring your ornaments. We've received some treasures already, and I know we're going to make Kelly's wedding a really special occasion.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. What an awesome hospitality team. Okay, Magnus and I have come to an agreement on the winner. Magnus, would you like to tell them a little bit about the gift that they're receiving? And then I will couple that with our Maui Jim sunglasses.
Yes, I would. That is the candy.
Okay.
Correct?
Yes.
The one I showed. So it's a candy
This is the
box
grand
here
box.
with the Swedish classics inside this box. I chose this one because they also have Christmas special, but they were like chocolate that tastes like ginger cookies and so on. And I thought I wanted to give you the classic feel of it.
Beautiful.
Well, I think that is very appropriate for the man in the big red suit. Kevin Eastman, you are our winner this week. Part of me hopes that you had to make this suit and that they don't actually sell it anywhere, but it's fantastic. And you look great. You are perfectly themed. So congratulations. A pair of sunglasses and of course the chocolates coming your way.
Kevin, could you make a guest appearance at Kelly's wedding, please?
I know, right? Need Kevin to officiate.
Yeah, they actually sell these online.
Oh God.
Yeah, but that's my favorite color, plaid.
It's
so.
Great. It's amazing.
Thank
well
you.
done.
Whitney, you want to
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody, and Merry Christmas, or God Jul, as we say in Swedish.
God jul.
God Jul.
Thank you,
God
everyone.
jul.
And please join us next week. I'll be leading some cocktails. And if you were on our virtual showcase and you were there for cocktail hour, you know how fun those could be. So we'll be doing that again. And we invite you to make your own Christmas cocktails and bring them and share them with everybody, and share recipes and appetizers. And we're just going to have a big party online. So we hope to see you there. And we will see you next Wednesday. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
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 Bye. How do you turn this thing off?